What up, Fetishati? Just wondering if you're into me. So, shoulder day, we're going to start out with lateral raise because the other thing was taken, and I thought, hey, I usually end on this or whatever, so why not start? I don't think I've ever started a workout with shoulder lateral raise, at least not in the past couple weeks. So today is Wednesday. My so I do 2 refeed days, right? That was yesterday. So today's my lower calorie day, 1,280-ish, maybe a pinch under. So I have energy now. Pre-workout yesterday was, carb loaded, and so some of that is still in me. I'm still a little bit heavier. Probably need to poop soon. Hopefully the caffeine will help that part out. It's definitely when you're doing lower calories, you don't poop as much. I got my gym sweater with a big hole in the side. If anyone in Colorado wants to sew that up for me, I would love you for that. I like this sweater. Jack and Jones. My mom got it for me quite a while ago, actually. I used to make fun of my dad because he would have like the same 5 shirts for 10 years. And now my brother and I both were kind of like looking at our wardrobe. We're like, ooh, bro, my brother has clothing from when I was in high school that I gave to him. And I'm like, hey, bro, that's a cool shirt. Where'd you get it? And turns out it was me 10 years ago. So yeah, it's, you go through the phases, right? Fast fashion and so on. I hope the audio is working, by the way. I switched the transceiver has different settings, right? It has like mono, stereo, right? Because I can have 2 mic sets connected to the transceiver, or whatever it's called, I don't know. But it has a phone mode, so I changed it to phone mode. I don't know what type of difference it would make. And I also changed some settings on my phone because yesterday's workout we had one segment that didn't have audio. So yeah, I'm trying something new. So I'm going to keep this talking short. That way, in case the audio doesn't work, then we don't miss much. But anyway, week 23, lift 3, shoulder day, slight little bit of chest tossed in there. And we're starting out with shoulder dumbbell lateral raise. I will say fairly, I did not do any warm up before this. I'm going to zoom in just a pinch. So I might do 4 sets, same weight, but I might do 4 sets just to make sure I am warmed up. I got gum in my mouth. I don't want to have bad breath. Mostly just for myself. Bad taste in my mouth, from the pre-workout actually. Okay. Yeah, music, and let's go. Alright, I felt pretty good. I was 12. Roughly 3 reps in reserve. Yeah. Let's see the next one. Alright. Look at me with my backwards hat. I figured I would just put it on backwards because I never wear my hat backwards, and I thought I want to see what I look like. I don't like it really. Yeah, well, anyway. Today we're mixing it up just for fun, I guess. Typically this is not a good thing to do, mix it up, because you want to have every week you want to do the same workouts in the same order so that when you're comparing the reps, you can compare them appropriately, right? Because if I do a workout third and then first the next week, I won't be as tired the next week. I may keep this order, but just for today, I thought, you know what? I started with the dumbbell lateral raise. Typically, I'd go to shoulder press, but then I thought, well, what if I did this rear the cable face pull here. What if I did that next? You know, maybe that warms me up for the shoulder press a little bit more. All the weights are the same for this workout. I need to fix my posture too. Wow. Yeah, I keep hunching over. It's because my phone is so down low compared to me, so I gotta like look down at it. Anyway, yeah, this is what we're getting into, and I don't got much more to say than let's get into it. This is gonna be one of those long sets, high reps, you know. Takes a while. So let me get a podcast going. Actually, that's a joke, but yeah, it's almost one of those workouts where you could listen to a podcast. But I want the mind-muscle connection, so music. And music is interesting. There's this book called like Your Brain on Music or something. I'm slightly interested in reading it. Okay. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. That was 40. Something about my posture, my form, doesn't feel quite right. I don't like this backwards hat. Doesn't feel quite right. My shoulders being uneven, or like where and how I'm pinching my elbows together. I really need like somebody here to like kind of give me the taps, like, hey, lower, upper, you know, adjust my form. But anyway, that's it for this workout. For you, I got 2 more sets, and yeah, that part could be cut. I don't know. Save the next one. Yeah. Haircut soon. Fashion shows soon. Mother's Day soon. What else is coming up? That's the most of it. A couple birthdays of my friends. One of my friends just got married. It's kind of funny. I had this group chat of me and all the boys from the gym crew, and I'm the last one. I'm the last bachelor. I'm the last dog remaining. Come on. I gotta do it for my boys now, you know? So, I'm doing it. But alright, so we got the bench all the way down today, level 9. So 9 is the lowest, 1 would be the highest. We're doing 130 pounds. Pretty good. Every machine is different though. That's worth noting. Is, you know, some machines I would hardly be able to do 100. Some I could do the full stack without blinking. And yeah, so 130, this does feel pretty low, but I think it'll be alright. Shoulder's bothering me a little bit more today. I don't know if I'm sleeping on it wrong or something, but you know, it's also most likely from my wheelchair, having to yank it in and out of the car more often, I guess. I don't know what it is, but when I'm getting my wisdom teeth out Friday the 13th of June. That'll be a vlog. That'll be vlog worthy. Maybe I can have them record the whole session. I don't know, but after that, I'm not allowed to work out for a week, so that'll be my deload week for sure. And yeah, so I was thinking I should do the gratefulness thing, because it's, you know, journaling it or even just speaking it is really healthy. It's really good to do. It just gets you into a good positive mindset. And I have been meditating more. I've been meditating every single morning without fail, starting last Sunday or Monday. So it's been a couple days, but I feel good about it. It's been good. And so my morning routines are getting better. I'm trying to stay off my phone more in the morning. It's tough. You got to break those habits. I've just been slowly implementing and introducing and just doing things that progress me in my growth. The unfortunate thing is I'm still a little bit lost. I don't know exactly where I'm going, so it's hard to, because knowledge is infinite. I can read any book I want. I am fortunate enough to have the money where if I want to read a book, I can go buy it, or I can get an audiobook. I can do this and that and whatever. I can get a course. I'm going to start my master's degree, right? The pursuit of knowledge isn't enough. It has to be in a specific domain where I have a goal and I have a motivation and I have a drive. Right now, I'm mostly driven by curiosity. I want to learn about economics. I want to learn about biology, finance, psychology, general science, physics, quantum physics, artificial intelligence. And when you say AI, there's machine learning, deep learning, and other forms of it. The whole thing. I want to learn about the whole thing, and hardware too. GPUs. It would be really cool if anyone who happens to work at NVIDIA. I would love to start getting into CUDA and being being a developer, working on GPU software. That would be interesting, because when I was doing my degree in electrical engineering, I really did enjoy doing assembly, which is like the lowest level programming, it is the lowest level programming you can do for hardware. I found that very interesting. Anyway, I'm grateful for, it's really rainy today, but I'm grateful for having the perspective that I can wake up and I can say, what a beautiful rainy day. It doesn't mean I enjoy rainy days or I prefer them, but I can still appreciate the beauty in all weather, and I'm happy for that perspective. The second thing is my family, support from friends and family. I can always count on people, and I know that it's pretty rough economically these days, and I know that I'm secure. Not as secure as I want to be, but I know that I'll never be on the streets, which is really nice. I have a home, and I'm safe, and I'll always be okay. At the bare minimum, I can always scrape by. I have enough friends and connections that I should always be able to be employed. I can always get a job. Maybe I don't like it, but I'm able to always have a job and so on. And let's go for a third thing now. I guess I'm just grateful overall for the things I can't control. I was born in America, which I don't love it, but of course everyone thinks the grass is greener on the other side. However, there's a lot of other sides where the grass is not greener, right? So being born in America gave me a pretty, there's a safety net there. The bottom line is higher. So one of the books I just read was Poor Economics, I think, something like that. And they talk about how, in India or a lot of poor areas, people who really scrape by, they really scrape by. You know what I mean? And there's no, the bottom line is lower, right? Because wherever you live in the world, there's always going to be the Gaussian distribution. You can't have it any other way, unless you're really, really doing communist type of society. So you're always going to have poor, middle class, rich. Not a lot of poor, not a lot of rich, a lot in the middle class area, right? It's the Gaussian distribution. However, when it comes to that, right, you can't avoid that distribution for wealth, for height, for not age, but you know what I mean? That distribution shows up almost everywhere. The thing is when you have that Gaussian distribution, right, you can imagine that is on another plane that goes up and down. So whether you're on the poor end or the rich end, what really is the richest, what is the poorest? In America, the poorest can be pretty poor. However, not as bad as some other spots in the world, right? And they talk about, people living on $2 a day. Now, I tend to disagree with that a little bit. I think it should be spoken in percentages, because when you say somebody's living on, I'm just making sure I'm recording. When you say someone's living on $2 a day, but then a pound of rice is 5 cents or 20 cents, whatever it is, that's not the same as saying Cosmo lives on $20 a day. Because I live in America, that could be worse, right? So talking in percentages, and that's not to say I'm saying, oh, use percentages so it doesn't sound as bad. It's still probably really bad. It could even be worse, right? If you say I live on $2 a day, USD, depending on where you live, that's better or worse. But if you say food-wise or something, I'm living on, like, I have 70% of my daily allowance is going towards food alone, and that food is just scraping me by with like 1,600 calories, that's actually really, really bad. That's worse than saying $2 a day when rice is 20 cents, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's different ways to say it. But anyway, I'm just saying, I'm very fortunate to be born where and when I have been, and the family that I have, so that I have the opportunities, and that my bottom line is far higher than a lot of the world, which is really nice. It's also lower than some parts, but it's also, it got me here, and it's going to get me where I'm going to, probably. You know what I mean? Something like that. All right, so shoulder press. Let's do it. Ooh. Yeah, my right shoulder is definitely a bit messed up there. Ugh. Yeah. Not too bad, but I'm definitely feeling it. I'm gonna have to focus on that more. I don't know what it is. More stretching, maybe? It's very much a joint issue, though. We'll see what I do next couple days. Might have to see a massage therapist or chiropractor soon. Anyway, I'll see you at the next workout, which will be chest flies. Alright, 155 pounds, chest flies. We're done with the shoulder segment of today, so now we're going to the chest portion, which is going to be flies and then bench press. Let's do it. Get my feet set up real good. Good form. Woo. Oh. 14. Pretty good. I'll wrap this up and I'll see you at bench. Last workout of the day. Some bench press, 205. Woof. Yeah. Let's do it. Oh, yep. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful crotch shot. Yep, can't avoid that. Sorry. Or maybe I'm not sorry. I don't know. There's probably a couple people who don't mind it. Get a good song going. Here we go. Okay, feeling a little bit weaker with that. That was 8 reps, 3 in reserve. Ugh. Ugh. I'm dead. I'll see you. I'll see you at the next workout tomorrow. I love you. Bye.